Hi there, Rabbi. And I see that once again we have come to the Mount for another episode of the Ten Commandments. What the heck are they? And why should we listen to them? And this is a big one for all you parents out there. Children, are you paying attention? It's number 5. Honor your mother and father. Shouldn't it be honor your father and mother?
Joe, I love the way you said that, directing it towards children, because you and well, my parents died, my mother died when I was young, but as adults, we have parents. We were adults, and too often people throw this commandment at little children and kids and say, see, you have to honor your parents. And those people forget that they have parents. And honor doesn't mean to do whatever you're told. And that's the way parents throw it at kids. They say the commandment says honor your mother and father, now go clean your room. As if the commandment means you're in the Marines and your parents are the gunny and you have to do whatever they say, otherwise you're going to be punished. That's not what the commandment means. And honor does not mean you have to do what your parents tell you to do. It means to respect them, to listen to them, to treat them with respect. And in their old age, when they can no longer drive, you take the keys away. And when your parents come to the point where they're having trouble standing or walking, you hire a health aide to take care of your parents, even if your parents object. That's honoring. And we have to get away from that. Honoring means following orders or doing what you're told. That's not the intent. It's to treat with respect so they have dignity. I want to have dignity in my old age. And as I age, I forget things and I lose my balance sometimes. And it's up to my children to override my objections to make sure that I stay safe. So let's get away from that business, Joe. It's not about being a sergeant. It's not about the Marines. So let's put that down.
No, I was going to say the cartoonist Lynn Johnson uh, once quoted in one of her strips. What does it mean when you're talking to your parents and your children and with the exact same tone of voice?
We are role models for how our children will treat us because they watch how we treat our parents. And I want everyone to stop for a minute and say, how do you want your children to treat you if you're treating your parents in a way that's disrespectful, that doesn't honor them? And we often lose sight of that fact. And that's just as important as what I mentioned before is we are models or examples for our children. So our children hear us, they watch us, and if we start complaining, oh, we have to go visit my mother. Oh, my mother's such a pain in the patootie, and you start all this nonsense, stop and say to yourself, you're the role model. You're modeling how your children are going to treat you. Do you want to be treated that way? And more often than not, we don't realize that we're accidental ambassadors and role models. And in this case, it's about honoring our parents so our children will honor us.
And the door swings both ways on that because I have often found myself saying, do I want to say this to my child? What did my parents say to me when I did this or how I acted like this? But I know what solves my problems most of the time is I go back to the Rabbi and I YouTube channel and watch for your wisdom every week.
And I just want to leave us with what you just said, Joe. Is it working? We want to stop for a moment and say, how I treat my kids, are we getting a good result? How I treat my own parents, am I getting a good result? And I think looking at things, how are they working towards our goals, will really help us in honoring our mother and father.